going and it's all very cute and all that, Jonathan. I don't know. Let me be frank with you, John. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if you could handle the beard. It's not that easy.
Wow, all right, Mikey. Well, I don't think I'd want to handle the beard now anyway. As we do get into game, this is something I'd much rather handle, a game of Dota 2.
Right.
We are in a smoke on smoke again. They've been using this to position out, drop some forward wards. I don't know if we're really going to see some action. It does feel like the level 1 coming out from MagMa is pretty good, but not really going to opt to go for that. And yeah, just going to chill out again.
I apologize, by the way, John. I don't mean to tell you you can't handle it. I'm sure you could. So that sounded very
No.
obnoxious of me. Sounded
No.
very obnoxious.
You want a beard? You can't handle a beard. Damn, Mikey. That's one way to say it. You know?
Neither could Tom Cruise, apparently, John. I suppose it makes enough sense.
Could handle my knees though.
Well, yeah. Let's not go too far into his life. It's a very, very interesting life he's lived. Game number 3, Jonathan. I mean, I never asked you the hard question, but in terms of drafts, could you give me an outright winner in terms of drafts? Can you answer the difficult
Outright
question,
winner.
Jonathan?
An outright winner just on draft alone. I don't think there's an outright winner. It does feel a lot more even here. I think both sides have some timings to play for. A little bit of a chase here, but not going to really follow through from the poison touch. And should be an slightly this time for MagMa. They do manage to snag an extra way, so no, they don't. They just go for a 2 for 2. I'm sorry, I'm actually lagging very badly right now, so I can't actually see anything.
I was lagging quite badly last game in the middle of a team fight, John, so I don't want to hear your excuses. I still managed to do the play-by-play. Sure, you can do a little bit of analysis while you're lagging, John.
Fair enough, fair enough. We're going to be taking a look at mid first. You've got ZC, of course, up against Dust. The good old Pangolier versus Death Prophet lane. This one should be back and forth, maybe a little bit better for Dust, as you can to just clear out the creep wave with Crypt Swarm. Back off, the cooldowns on Swashes way higher and Shield Crash, so Dust gets to manage it a little bit better.
Bottom lane, Beyond. He's really not enjoying this poison touch here, as the stun is going to fly out in first blood. Already going to go the way of the Arc here for MagMa. Jianming really couldn't do anything to help out on the Dawnbreaker, and it just goes back to that poison touch. You really can't underestimate how slow you can get with enough right clicks here from QIQX.
Yeah, it really just ramps up very quickly, and that is a dual melee lane up against Dazzle, so it doesn't feel that good. They are mobile though.
Gonna try and trade, but now Tianming's underneath the T1 tower. Luckily the creep wave is gonna be able to tank through it, and Tianming gonna continue trying to be aggressive here against the Arc. Meanwhile, QX is back onto Beyond, who's copping a fair bit of damage from this poison touch, but the turnaround is there. They do find the Dazzles. Beyond, he's gonna be okay. The chase is still on for the Arc. Beyond, he does have Dispose, but chances are would not be enough without the follow-up of the Dawnbreaker. And it looks like Tianming doesn't really have any mana for the Celestial Hammer or Starbreaker anyway.
Yeah, just gonna have to sit back, regen a bit. Same goes for Baye, as he has expended a lot of his HP. And his Soul Ring's almost done, so should be able to keep spamming out the spells. And he's been farming up fairly well. He hasn't been slowing down at all. Good space created by QIQX on the bot lane. Again, double melee up against Dazzle. Never feels that good to trade hits with that hero.
Of course, top lane as well. The one lane we haven't talked about yet, you're going to have Summer and SJ there against Irving and Mercy. Summer, like, he might struggle in terms of CS against the Mars, but for now he seems to be just perfectly fine. Chances are you're probably not going to be able to kill off Summer, assuming he holds on to that rage and does use it at the right time. But I suppose there is a bit of kill potential, considering you do have the Tusk tag team, but again, I think as long as Rage is up, the Lifestealer is probably just going to be able to make it through anything.
Yeah, he's not under any threat there. He is going to farm a little bit slower in comparison to the Alch, just by nature of the Alchemist having that wave clear, so you're going to feel a lot better there in comparison on Magma's end. And I'm really keen to see just exactly what Baye's build-up is, whether or not he goes for the Radiance build, whether or not he just goes for, say, an SNY or a Travels and tries to be active. Kind of determines how fast Magma will play. We are seeing an overwhelmingly strong start from mid already from Dust, as we mentioned. It just feels a lot better for DP, much more spammy on the skills, and easily just clear out the creep wave with no threat to your own life. And ZC has a pretty hard time landing some good shield crashes for harassment. So Dust You're set to have a good build-up and should be able to hit that level 6 spike nicely, have some good support rotations in to force in that mid-tier 1 fast.
Very even mid matchup, that's for sure. Dust still pulling ahead just barely, but ZC still able to poke back with the shield crashes. Bot lane, there's going to be a bit more action. QIQX going to go for a run. Starbreaker, it's off the mark. Ming unable to stay within range, and now will cop a fair bit of damage on the way out. In fact, he tried to trade right clicks here with the Arc, but he's going to be punished for it, it seems. Rebound is there from QIQX, however, in fact, Beyond, he's the one to take the kill. So Tianming, a decent bait, in fact. The Marcy always had the backup.
Managed to catch out and punish, getting themselves an additional kill here on YPB, and starting to impact the Alex farm because he's focused in on trying to kill. They'll try again though.
Summer in trouble now with the shards and tag team activated. He's still trying to fight back. Meanwhile, bot lane, they do find the Dawnbreaker. But top lane, Summer is going to drop with the Lifestealer. They had a great Shards tag team combo, and it just seemed like Summer wanted to try and fight through it, just could not do it in the end. Very unfortunate there for the side of YBB.
Yeah, MagMa off to a really strong start to what all the kills they're finding. They've only had to sacrifice their Dazzle. All of the kills from YBB are on that Dazzle. Everyone else having a smooth ride here on Magma's end. I think the one concern is still really the Alchemist and the DP. Like, if Dust is allowed to hit this level 6, if his supports are allowed to just connect to him with freer side lanes, then the objective taking just happens fast, and there's not much to defend here from YBB. ZC could try to roll around, but it doesn't feel like they've got the follow through for it just yet.
3-2 now. He's looking a little bit more calm across the map, that's for sure. Bit of a group up from Mercy mid lane, but not really going to get much done. Bottom lane, the chase here. Starbreaker, going to be off the mark. Tianming, again, unable to keep up with that Starbreaker. Beyond is still out with the rebound, but only lands onto QIQX, who was quite healthy. There's no real chance of securing a kill here for either side. Bit of poking back and forth. As now mid lane, they do at least find SJ. So the Hoodwink shows up here, and Dust, well, he had the Exorcism, so he wasn't really going to be stopped. He'll continue just working on towards that mid-tier 1 tower, and ZC going to try his absolute best to defend here with the Swashbuckle. Has the Rolling Thunder. Sad part is, though, the DP finds a regen rune. So all that work goes to waste, really.
Not so fast.
A bit aggressive still down bot.
QIQX will drop. There's your sidekick out as well. So now Tianming can heal up as the Arc is still trying, but the Dispose is there. Beyond, able to secure the kill. Tianming, he knows he's dead. He'll just stand there and take it for the team as Dust. He's still going to try and have a look around for Beyond, but is going to miss out. So a very nice trade coming up from YBB, really abusing this off-lane duo of the Marcy Dawnbreaker. And it is panning out very effectively.
They've really put a dent into the progression for Baye. He's behind in terms of CS now in comparison to the Lifestealer. Still ahead in net worth as you'd expect, but not by the margins you'd want. And that pressure is going to ramp up. You need to kind of ensure that the build-up can happen. They've got some stacks in the triangle. So there's some recovery Dust. Gonna be fine, just a bit of a poke and prod from ZC. The roll is still available from the side of YBB, and I think that's something they've got to play around now if they want to get aggressive here.
Let's see. In the mid lane, he goes the Pango. MagMa, they are grouped up around. Never mind, they do leave the DP alone, so Dust does need to be somewhat cautious because there is a bit of backup coming in from the Pango. YBB will reveal themselves in the mid lane, at least the supports do, and nothing's going to come out of it. Just trying to secure that 8-minute power rune timing. Dust could be in danger. ZC does move in. A nice bushwhack, and now the rebound is out. Beyond setting up as Dust. He'll try to heal up with the stick charges, but there's going to be 4 heroes around. They'll even find Mercy on the Tusk. And that'll be a 2-for-0 trade the way of YBB.
It takes a lot of heroes, but they find a really big kill. taking out the Death Prophet right before she can try to use the Exorcism on the tower. So a bit of a preemptive defense almost coming out, just preventing any sort of moves onto the mid and starting to build up around their Pango's timings. Great roll coming out, building into the defusal here for ZC. So it's going to have even more control coming out. They are still keeping track of that out though, just not giving Baiyi a free lane.
Yeah, he's trying to move in for the stun, but now he's going to get punished. There is a Chemical Rage still going, however, so he does heal through all the damage being pumped out. Beyond has already committed the Unleash, so he doesn't have that available. Now the turnaround is there, but the Vest is out. Summer, he'll just keep going. This Alk still trying to run. ZC, he's on the chase. He has the shield crash in just a moment. He'll land another slow. There's another rebound. They will not give up, and it does pay off. Oh, YBB, they would just not leave this poor man alone.
Amazing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They just keep chasing him down. They understand what they have to do against the Alk here on YBB's end. Just constantly apply pressure, ensure it doesn't find farm. QYQX spotted by the courier.
He just wanted to survive. The courier sees him. Tianming even sticking around for a Starbreaker swipe at him. Beyond will be able to take another kill on this Pons 3 Marcy. And I've got to say, John, this is one of the better starts I've seen from a position 3 Marcy. 4-1 and 4. I see a lot of impact in that offlane so far, and considering the start Beyond's had, he's going to have a very early BKB timing, probably into a Basher after that, and that's going to be problematic for MagMa. We've seen how strong these Marcys can be in the offlane if they're off to a good start.
Just snowballs out of control. MagMa, I feel like we expected more coming out from the sports. They make that good rotation mid, force the first EXO out onto the tower. After finding a couple of kills, Fortify was there to hold off, but that's the kind of space that MagMa needs to keep making. Buy space for this out, allow him to farm. He's going for the Radiance and Baiyi. It's going to be a while until that's up. The farm is accelerating, but one thing we haven't really seen this activity out from Irving either. Like, he's just been camped up top on this Mars, not really leaving that lane, not really opening up with the arena for his teammates. And it's just allowing YBB to run around knowing that there's no threat of being jumped on by that control.
Irving, chased down by Tianming. SJ is going to be there. Bushwhack not going to land. Irving, not the Celestial Hammer, but is just going to run his way out. Even ZC showing up, but obviously not able to get within range for the Rolling Thunder. I think for ZC anyway, you probably just want to pick up the Diffusal Blade first before you do get too involved with your team. Once you have the Diffusal Blade up, it just feels like your impact goes up so much more. Just so much damage output as well with the Swashbuckle. For now, though, it's all about farming for him. MagMa, on the other hand, they are going to go for a 3-man smoker. Mercy, Dust, and Irving going to move in. They will find the Pango. Rolling Thunder not going to be there in time. The arena is going to be dropped. They'll find one. Tianming, he tried to come in and help out, so it might be a 2-for-1 special here for MagMa. They do end up getting a very nice shards out, and eventually Tianming will drop. And with that, John, T1 mid tower, it is open.
Yeah, they've got the EXO running, Fortify pop early, but not going to take too long for this objective fall. They're still coming in with Beyond, though. Don't want to give this one for free.
Beyond, he'll try to fight by himself, the sharpshooter. It was taken by the Tusk. Mercy, he takes the shot for his teammate. He will die, but the President Death Prophet, John, he will survive.
And he backs off in the nick of time. Tower, only 24 HP, so the deny should just come out from YBB. Not quite doing that yet. They managed to successfully defend to an extent up against MagMa. The tower's still set to fall, but now they can just take away the gold and just enjoy the freebie that they get. To even out the game a little bit more. This is really important space for Baiyi though. So they are doing a good job of just dragging these fights away from the Elk. He is still being tracked out by Tianming, but he's out of the danger zone down bot. I mean, they're just trying to chase down Irving. They're trying to take control of that bot jungle and just connecting that onto the mid, trying to just lock them out of any sort of farm. So the Elk only really has top to play with, and they've got to find ways to keep distracting YBB away from that top lane.
Do you think the Elk's finding enough farm though? He's had a real rough start. 13 minutes in, he's only about 600 gold ahead of the Pango. I suppose this is around that time now where you really want to start to escalate, but I don't know, it does feel like he's going to need minimum 5-10 minutes before he's ready to fight. And YBB, they are around the corner, ready to try and make the jump in. QYQX, though, great positioning. Breaks the smoke, tanks the gank. YBB, they aren't even going to try going after the Alk. That'll allow him another day to keep that farm going. But back to the question, John. It does seem like he needs a lot more time.
Yeah, it's the one thing when you do pick up that Alk. You are playing almost like a 4 protect 1 up until an early mid game. Once you have certain item spikes, the Alk does feel good, but it's not quite there yet. And look at this, with the defusal up, ZC just wanting to check around, and that does cut off the farm of our Alk. Bayi just doesn't feel the comfiest there. They need some more vision out from MagMa. I'd say they need a lot of defensive wards here. Just watch those jungle entrances, ensure your Alk is protected, and just run a risk when you do go out for these engagements. You know, you're going to have to go for blind smokes, blind movement out, but you just really want your Alk safe more than anything else.
YBB, they're going to sneak up here, top tier 1 tower. They do miss out on the Alchemist, though. That's the real target they wanted. They don't really care for that top tier 1. MagMa now will go for a smoke, but they might run right into SJ. Smoke broken already. Mercy, he's going to move in, but here comes the cavalry. Solar Guardian is there on Dust. He's still fine with his own BKB, and now an Arena. Going to catch 2 of them. Irving, a perfect setup. They've already found 1. Even Mercy surviving thanks to the shallow grave of QIQX. And MagMa, they'll find a double kill onto Dust. Just very, very challenging to try and force that fight into the BKB of the Death Prophet. They were unable to lock him down, and in the end, they're unable to find anything. YBB, and it's just gonna have to back off and lick their wounds.
It's an outstanding Arena out from Irving. That spear onto the Lifestealer before that Rage. You talked about it from the laning. He needs to be able to land that Rage on the Lifestealer to survive. Otherwise, you do still have enough control. They smoke out immediately, though, on YBB.
It's great positioning from QIQX, but no, he doesn't see them. Oh, he doesn't see them. He just ran past the tree line, so he got fogged. Oh, he was half a second too late.
Yeah, it's one of those things. He went out forward, he plants a ward, but that was the window where YBB comes in for the kill. And to find the biggest kill they could hope for. The Alchemist still not the richest Alch in the world. Radiance is almost up, but it does feel like we are a little bit late on that timing. And we still have a lot to play here.
Yeah, double damage found out. Mercy gonna find himself in pretty big trouble. Does get sniped here by SJ. ZC looking for a bit more with that Rolling Thunder. Not really gonna find anyone for his trouble. Might just wait for the Rolling Thunder to be off cooldown now and just try and abuse the double damage timing with it. Like, it seems pretty strong for them. You could try to force the T1 mid tower push now if you're YBB, but it does feel very forced. Xian Ming still going to try and make the play onto the Dazzle, though QIQX will be able to land the shallow grave, at least for now, but eventually will drop anyway. They're unable to save. Instead, Irving is going to move in onto Xian Ming. They'll find the Dawnbreaker perhaps, though he will go for a bit of a run with the Celestial Hammer, but won't make it to the low ground. That'll be a 1-for-1 trade. Does feel like it's in the favor of MagMa. With that, still a very even game. If the fights continue, ZC, he'll pop the double damage onto Irving, but Irving can just TP away, understanding there's no way to stop the TP. So it is going to remain a 1-to-1 in the favor of MagMa.
Yeah, it's still a fairly close game, less than 1k lead standing for YBB. Whenever you're against an Alk, you feel pretty good. Radiance is finally up, so the farm can kind of hit full force for Bayi. He does have the Ancient stack to clear out, and that should give a good gold injection coming through there. I think the next step for YBB is they've got to find his mid. Their push isn't the fastest, they need to kind of commit for this kind of push, but they've still got roll on ZC if they find the opening from the defense, and MagMa aren't even defending, so if they find that tier 1 that they need, it opens up the triangle just a tad bit more, and just cuts off further access for the Alk to keep this farm game going. We need so much more. Like, Bayi needs the BKB, probably wants some armor up against that Lifestealer as well. It's gonna take so much time for the Alk. I mean, not that much, because again, he flash farms pretty fast, but that's a lot of time for YBB to just keep playing this game as they have. Just be aggressive use that global presence you have in Chanming well, use this early presence that Lifestealer has just by his kit very well. The Desolator is almost done now on Summer, and that'll just make short work of any hero that shows up from MagMa.
Mid lane, there is a bit of a group up from YBB. They haven't looked around, but they're trying to make a jump in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Right now,
attack.
they'll probably still be very happy with the state of the game, YBB. Like, Summer really is keeping up very well against this Alchemist. Only 1.3k behind in gold. Desolator up now, so it does feel like he can push towers and start to join his team for these fights. I really start to doubt that this Alchemist is going to be able to outscale this Lifestealer. He just has not pulled far ahead enough. You're going to give props to the YBB side and just continue harassing this man. And they are going to go for another 5-man smoke up right into that triangle. It seems like MagMa are aware that this is happening, but the rebound is there. They know the Alchemist is around to the top lane, and they will rush him. But the tree line is going to protect. They will not see him through that tree line, and that's going to be enough. YBB, they will be unsuccessful with their 5-man smoke.
Yeah, they smoked right under the ward down mid on a ramp, so very, very clearly seen coming out there for MagMa, and they just avoid very nicely. That still cuts into your Alex farming time, and he's going to have to play elsewhere again. Does have the blink up. BKB still going to be worked on, maybe even in the career right as it died, and MagMa going for their own smoke play. Only dragging in 4 though. Alex not quite ready, but if they find the angle, this could still work out.
Certainly could. Towards the top lane they go. YBB still hanging around, but in fact, no, never mind. Mid lane, they're going to find Tianming. It's not the greatest kill in the world, but I suppose for MagMa right now, you just take whatever you can get. They could even think about Roshan now if they really want to. Considering it's a 4v5 and you don't have the Dawnbreaker to worry about for another 25. But that would mean you pop the Exorcism. MagMa, they don't seem to want to do that right now. They'll just wait it out.
Yeah. They've just got to kind of sit out a little bit, build up, and instead of YBB for their part, I mean, I like how they're itemizing. Like, you look at ZC, he had that diffusal, he's got his Basher up, some more utility coming out from the Swash. Combine that with the damage coming out from Summer, you can have everything you could possibly hope for already on these two heroes. Still, MagMa, they've got the blink up on Mercy. We've seen Tusk blink be really impactful. Snowball blink saves, blinking away, using Snowball to dodge damage. A lot of potential here for Mercy to weave in and out.
Yeah, putting a halt to that initiation that should have came out there from Irving. Very nice bash from the Pango, just making sure the Mars could not move forward. Still going to be a 4-man smoke, MagMa. They're going to try, but there's a 3-man counter smoke happening, and they'll run right into each other. Mercy, he'll make the jump in. A nice arena, already catching out the Pango, but can they protect him? It doesn't seem like it. ZC, he's still going, but not for long. He does drop. MagMa, however, they're still being chased down. Beyond does so much damage on this Marcy. And now Roshan, it's going to be open for YBB. Suddenly the game is swinging their way.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's been swinging their way for a while, considering the slower start coming out from Bai Yi. And secondary life to have with all these tanky heroes up front can be hard for them to deal with from MagMa's end. Initiation looked decent, but the BKBs did fly on, and they just don't have enough damage. Like, you have a Mars and a DP, that is just not burst damage. The Alchemist can't show up yet because he's not protected, so you really have a limited amount of damage sources you can play with in these 5v5s. Secondary life up on Summer. Lifestealer just looking bigger and bigger as each fight progresses. Sanj up as well. Some more stat resist, some more HP, more durability. And for MagMa, it just boils down to, is Bai Yi enough? And I think I'm with you on that, Mike. He just doesn't feel like he will be. Even if you give him 5-10 more minutes, it feels like he's going to need 15, maybe 20 minutes to really just completely eclipse everyone else. And that's a bit late for the Alc to be really massive.
Almost sounded like you were describing my marriage there, John, just not being enough. It's very depressing for me, Jonathan. It's a bit of PTSD. Thank you for that.
I do charge for my counseling.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Surprised anyone will pay you, John, I'll be frank. Your counseling, I've experienced your counseling sessions, John, and not the greatest. I think you've got a bit of work to do, but maybe one day.
Randy's a very satisfied customer.
Don't even bring up Dream myself. Don't even bring him up. Bot lane, tier 2 tower.
Is under attack.
It's under siege once again.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Force the fortification out.
Radiant's
MagMa
bottom
not really
tower is
flinching
under
either.
attack.
Like they see the bottom tier 2 going down, they cliff up, but I think they understand. They really can't take a fight. They're just
Radiant's
way
bottom
too
tower
behind.
has fallen.
Well, what do you do now if you are MagMa? Like, especially with this Alchemist, do you just kind of give up on him and hope maybe Dusk can carry the game for the DP, or like what do you actually do?
Dire's top
Your win
tower
condition
under
is still
attack.
tied into this Alchemist. You could go left field here. I would say what would be
Radiant's
massive
bottom
is
tower
Tusk
is under
Ags.
attack.
Like, not even
Dire's
kidding.
top tower
Just
is
kick
under
someone
attack.
back in the defense. That's how you can hold high ground.
Dust can be forced to BKB up. Does have a TP available, but has not opted. Eventually will do so.
Bash.
Oh, there it is. I suppose he was always afraid of the bash to come out. That's fair enough. Had to try eventually. Meanwhile, towards the south, QX was on a run. Narrowly avoid the sharpshooter out from SJ. Luckily for MagMa, there's no Roshan to play for. Sadly for MagMa, Summer still has Aegis for 3 minutes anyway. So he's already got what you need. They could just push in front of the tier 2 top tower perhaps, maybe even the mid tier 2. I highly doubt MagMa could stop them.
No, they can't. At this point, you might have to just play a high ground, unless you can get a really good arena spear from Irving, or at least just one good spear back on a key target that's isolated, but YBB aren't splitting apart. Just gonna go for that safe play, push together as a team. And again, it just feels like this starts to be a game where you want your Tusk to have Ags. You might have to farm an Ags and Bayi and just have the kickback into the high, from your high ground into the back of the base where the teammates can't help. Isolate them one by one and try to find pickoffs that way.
You need a lot of time for the Axe to come out, but I mean, if you're this Alchemist, you could think about it. You could think about handing it over to this Tusk. Mercy, they'll jump in for a Walrus Punch, but Beyond's there. Look at this, John. Unleash up. Bye-bye, Mercy. No mercy for the Tusk, that's for sure, as YBB. It seems like they've had enough. Even with the Aegis still up, they've expended enough spells. They don't want to fight without the Unleash and the Rolling Thunder. They'll take the Tusk kill, and that's going to be enough.
Yeah, they're just gonna go easy. They're in the lead. They know that they've got scaling even into the late game in comparison, because the Alch, it does plateau. Like there's itemization, but by its skill set, it just really plateaus at some point. So you've got a lot of room on your own side. Just play for the safe objectives. And take another tier 2, clear out all the outer towers, although
Summer, he's been caught. Silence is there. He does have that secondary life, but they might be able to get through the first one, and they will. A nice start for MagMa, but can they keep it up? No spear available quite yet, so Summer should be able to walk, but Mercy, he's got the Walrus Punch available. Summer still gets the Infest off onto Beyond and just makes a run out of there, as instead they will try to chase down the Dawnbreaker. Irving looking for a spear, will be able to find one onto Tianming, and eventually they will find one kill for their trouble. It's a lot of spell usage for that one kill though, and without the Exorcism up for 2 minutes, I think YBB, they'll just wait for their Dawnbreaker to respawn and probably try for high ground.
yeah, just give it a few seconds. They're not going to be minding that all too much. You can just see how hard it is to catch out the Life Sealer, especially with that Aegis. Just very slippery,
Gets
has
a
good
maneuver.
infest targets for the retreat.
There's a pincer going on here, John, but quick blink out.
Dire
Never
are
mind, no fight
scanning.
to break out, sadly.
What a
Scan is there on Irving.
Yeah, they spot him out. They know there's someone farming that top area. They don't have vision there on the side of YBB. Going in now.
Mercy again, gonna be targeted straight up and just get taken down. Sharpshooter more than enough, as even ZXCY, or rather QXQY, or rather QYQX is what I meant to say, John, does end up going down mid lane.
Radiant's middle
Too many
tower
letters in
has
these
fallen.
names. They do go to the high ground now of the mid lane. In fact, never mind. They'll go up top, Summer and Beyond.
Radiant
Sounds like a
structures are
store name, Summer and Beyond.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, there is bed bat and beyond.
Hold on, we're not
You know,
getting
so-
free shoutouts, Jonathan. I know which one it is. Spear is there, Irving. Gonna set up, dispose out though. Nice stun, however, with the unstable concoction, but beyond, he just keeps going. Summer, he'll man up. Arena down. They'll try to protect Summer. He's gonna get out of there. Beyond's already done as well. ZC still alive somehow, but the chase is going. They want that life stealer. They might just have him as well, and they do. Down without buyback. SJ being chased as well. There goes Tian Ming. SJ gonna try to run, but the stun is there. 4 down for the side of YBB. And suddenly MagMa. They are showing signs of life.
Yeah, they execute that defense perfectly. They isolate the life stealer very well. I'm surprised he couldn't manage to get off any infest, but he did not have Beyond to go into. A bit of a roll out from ZC, trying to cut off the creep wave. Does manage to make an escape for himself. But they even out the game on MagMa. They actually haven't lost anything on the high ground, so they're feeling great. Like they successfully
Dire's
defend and
middle
hold.
tower is under attack.
And you are starting to pull ahead by good numbers now in Bai Yi. He's 6,000 ahead for Lifestealer. You could start to consider, and you could replace your Soul Ring at this point. So you're not quite fully slotted up, and of course you're going to need your overwhelming blink here on the Elk as well. So I think that's where the itemization goes next. But again, the room is there to gift Ags. Kickback on Mercy could be nice down the line. Not a high priority considering that they can just expect YBB to maybe overextend, and for YBB for their part, they try to push the envelope. They swing towards a different lane for Axe, trying to clear it out, but without the protection of Aegis, that felt a little bit optimistic despite those pickoffs.
Group up again from MagMa. They might force another smoke. And they will. A 5-man
Dire's
smoke up. They're
bottom
feeling the
tower
energy
is under
now.
attack.
Unleash still down for 45 seconds here for this Marcy. Dust, he'll see a regen rune. Stun, it's going to be charged up here by the Alk. They've got to get to that high ground though. If they want to actually land it, they'll end up stunning themselves for now. Is Dust, he will move in. Exorcism is popped, but who are they actually taking? Everyone's just running. Another stun being charged up. They'll at least find the Dawnbreaker. Xian Ming might just go down. It's only going to be one though. Roshan, at the very least, is available. So they can try to use the exorcism for this, and they will.
They've got damage. There is ample time to kind of respond, but no Rolling Thunder for a bit. Beyond does have the Infested Lifestealer, though.
You don't have the buyback on the Dawnbreaker, though. It makes it kind of hard for YBB to make the jump in. That being said, MagMa doesn't know that there's no buyback available. He was only 85 gold short of that buyback being up. Still 20 seconds away from respawning. You'd love to have that Solar Guardian throughout this team fight, but they're going to jump in early. Mercy is there with the Warrior's Punch. A Bushwhack to hold him down. Summer, he'll get to work with the Snowball. Is going to delay a little bit as QIQX is going to drop to the Shield Crash. Mercy still running, but does get taken down by the Swashbuckle. In they go into the Alchemist. The Unleash is there. The Marcy's trying, but doesn't end up dying as now the Solar Guardian is committed by Tian Ming. He has respawned up. Onto Irving they go, but he's going to be KB available on that Mars, so he'll keep the fight going. And now the turnaround is here. Dust, he pops the shivers. In fact, never mind the turnaround. The sharpshooter will connect onto the DP, and Dust is gone as well. Irving, he'll keep trying to get out, but the Bushwhack, it's going to lock him down. Irving's gone. Eventually, they'll get him. And now Roshan is available to the side of YBB. And would you believe it, John? There's a double damage rune there waiting for someone.
Of course, just to speed up the rush just a tad bit more. YBB managed to play the cards right in that pit. And MagMa, I mean, after the arena, it was a pretty decent one. They just lose way too many Spheros early on. They've got to deal with 2 lives once more on Summer, and now he's even got the utility coming out from Open Wounds. So you can kind of slow heroes down, set up for his team, helping them kind of stay alive as well. And the high ground should be a simpler process. You do still have Bai Yi around, but the Alk just doesn't feel like a factor at all. Like it mainly feels like the threat comes in from Irving more than anything else, and it's just not enough.
Now the mid-racks is set to fall. Respawns are incoming for MagMa. Mercy is going to try and make the jump in. More response will be there, but now the turnaround with the dispose out onto the Tusk. Shallow Grave is going to delay his life going down a little bit as the snowball will also be committed. Back the way of the siege creep, Mercy still will end up dying. So that's one down. But YBB, they're not going to stick around any longer. They got the mid-racks. They've got a Tusk kill for themselves. They'll go back for the outpost instead. And even an Eye of Skadi finally up for Summer. So he's going to be feeling a lot stronger on that next high ground attempt. Still holding on to that Aegis as well. They've got plenty of time to just keep farming and go back up in maybe a minute or two.
Yeah, they've got everything they could possibly need. I do like that Summer's going back for a BKB of his own, so feeling like the Rage not quite enough. Gonna need additional sources of spell immunity. And honestly, it feels really good here. Like, it just allows you to dodge out a lot of what the Mars wants to do, what the DP wants to do to you, even avoiding the sort of softeners out from the Alchemist. The Acid Spray won't affect you, Unstable Concoction won't do much, and you can just kind of focus in and get the damage. Full Abyssal out for the Alch, though. Baiyi does have some good ways of taking care of that spell immunity when it does come out. But it still feels like his impact on the Alch hasn't been as big as you'd want it to be. And I think that investment still needs to show its worth here for the side of MagMa. As it's really been down to Irving getting some good spears back, and thus just positioning himself perfectly to last through and do a ton of damage out with the Siphons and with the Exorcism, which has been shaping up, but it's a lot harder to pull off, which is why YBB's been able to find way more angles. Irving does have the halberd up, so a little bit of a disarm to help up against Summer, at the very least before he gets spell immunity off, could give them a few more openings here and there.
Here we go. 2 minutes still left for Summer on this Aegis timing. Very hard defense to come for YBB, but they've done it before. Could certainly try to do it again. Stun going to be channeled off. They're going to try and make the jump in. SJ was not being pinged out. They tried for beyond, but he's got the BKB out in time. Now the bashes right onto the Alchemist. He'll still make a run with the Shallow Grave, however. Nobody will drop quite yet. Exorcism was popped. So YBB, they can just casually wait on the low ground until it's over. And maybe just go back high ground. They still have the Aegis.
They use a lot out from MagMa. BKB is expended. Exo gone. They hold onto the arena, which is nice. Roll is down, but the cooldown's not the longest. And yeah, Summer doesn't care now. Just walks up, takes another tier 3.
Dust as the Ghost Scepter. It's going to remain protected from the right clicks of the Lifestealer. Summer still has a minute 15 left. Doesn't really want to force to back off here if he can avoid it. You'd feel much calmer if you had Rolling Thunder back up. That's 15 seconds away here for ZC. To Summer. Try to abuse the Rage. Spear, not going to be there from Irving. It goes right through the Lifestealer. It's the Bushwhack. Going to lock down the Mars. They even have the break with the Shallow Grave. Going to buy a bit of time as Beyond. A double stun out. They found Mercy. There goes your Mars. They're trying with the Alchemist to try and fight back. But this Lifestealer, he's way too tanky. Just takes down the Alch, no problem. ZC. He'll find QY and QX once again on the Dazzle. There are no buybacks available on the Mars or the Alch. That really should just be it for this game 3. YBB looking to pull off an upset here in this best of 3 series. QY QX will commit the buyback, but that's the only one they have left. They will be playing 3v5 into the Aegis of Summer, which is expiring in 15 seconds. Beyond, unable to get the grab back. Dust, gonna be careful to get caught out here by the Dawnbreaker, but is gonna be able to back. And now Mega's a run. ZC, oh, he's got the bash out. Nice snowball save, but is it gonna be enough? Mercy, he'll be the one to get caught out now. Dust, still trying to run. Shallow Grave, it will buy a bit of time for the Tusk, but not long. 2v5 scenario now for MagMa. They'll have the Mars back up in 3 seconds. That'll make it a 3v5. So Irving back into the fight. YBB, they're not even going to stick around. There's just no need. They've got the Megas up. It's happy death time, John.
Yep, back off. Just let them try to hold on now. You do have a Mars DP and Alk, which is decent enough in terms of clearing out these mega creeps, although not the fastest in the world. So they should be able to kind of cling on here. Question is, where do you go from here? Like, you've got to deal with the Ags out on Tianming, evasion, additional healing in that Solar Guardian is going to be big. I feel like you really just want Ags. I still say the same thing. Like, Tusk Ags might save your game. If you can kick them back from tier 4s into your fountain, well, there you go. You know, like that's your path back in. Just try to fountain fish a bit.
Well, it goes back to the
it's
arc,
infinitely harder now.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. I feel like the Ags would have been the only way to really change this game, and the problem is the Alchemist's not even 6 level yet. We're almost 40 minutes in. Like, it almost feels like you may as well have just gone for the Ags for Mercy. Like, just get the Alch to farm it for his task, because God knows he hasn't got the damage to try and deal with YBB at the moment.
Yeah, and you could at least try to fountain farm. And
Yeah.
I mean, this position now is really difficult. Again, you can hold off on on these megas quite nicely, or nicely enough, but you've lost complete map control. Like, there is no way YBB will let MagMa step outside that base at any point in this game now. And they've got a 16k lead over the Alchemist, so it's like, yeah, your Alchemist is number 1. It comes at a massive cost for everyone else, and you're just not able to keep up with us in our own items, especially on the supports. Like, again, Chanmeng, Ags is huge. You're working towards the Octarine here for our Hoodwink SJ. I wish that was a Hoodwink Ags. I really want to see that decoy shot, but we aren't.
It is
I
what
like
it
how
is.
this one feels.
No, it's not too special. It's all right.
It's fun, you know.
It is fun.
I'd like to see that. The two sharpshooters coming off. Hey, you know, that's pretty cool.
It's not like they need it though. That's the problem.
Exactly.
One's
It's
doing enough.
completely unnecessary. That's why you want it. There you go. There's the Ags out. Who you giving it to?
I mean, it has
Who
to
you
be
giving it
Mercy.
to? Yes,
Yeah.
they've got
Alright.
the idea. All right.
It's too late though,
That's-
isn't it? Like, they're against Megas now. I mean, it's not too late. The game's not over, but you know,
I don't
chances
know.
are.
Like, the goalposts are still up, you know? The tier 4s are there. There's your
Okay.
goalpost. Kick them right through.
Right.
Score 1 from the midfield. I don't know sports.
Yeah, I can
That
tell,
sounds
John.
right.
I'm not sure what sport you were trying to talk about. There's multitudes of sports that you could have talked about there, John. But
Golf?
You,
Just go for a good
No.
approach shot onto the
no,
fairway.
not golf, John. Golf doesn't have it. No, that's not the one, John. You had rugby league, you had rugby union, you had the NFL, you had
So Australian.
AFL, even though, you know, AFL.
Rugby.
All the Aussies out there, don't bother with the AFL. Still, YBB. I mean, they're still in a great position here. They've got the Aegis up, they've
Yeah.
got Ags up. Everything's good.
Literally nothing changes from that Roche. They are still in a very winning position. Like, they were already winninging before that, so
That's not a word, John.
let's see. We'll find out if they can kind of get this approach shot out on the toss.
Dusk, he gets done straight away. Look at the damage. Oh, Beyond is just shredding him. Yikes, Dusk cannot handle it. He is gone. Under the task, there's more. Beyond.
No!
1-2, 1-2, 1-2. He'll find another. Irving. He'll get bashed up with the BKB just trying to force a fight. YBB, they'll back off. That's a great arena. That's a great double spear out with the Solar Guardian. It's going to protect them. There's no follow-up. MagMa, this game, it's looking over. They're still in it though. They're still trying. Where's the Tusk? He has no buyback. At least they find Tianming on that Dawnbreaker. They'll try one last time. Irving, he's back in as well. Summer, his BKB wearing off, but he's onto the Alchemist now with the Bushwhack to hold him down. The Alch surely can't survive. There's a shallow grave from QX trying to buy a bit more time, but it's not going to be enough. He is gone. Tier 4 towers.
Middle tower
Off
is
we
under
go.
attack.
You needed the Tusk with the kickback. He dies without buyback. He's up in 3 seconds. There's Dust again being caught out. Shallowgrave will buy a bit of time. Here's the Fountain kickback onto that live steal. They found a good target, but Summer, he's too tanky. The Fountain's not going to do enough. Mercy, he will drop once again, and that's GG. MagMa, they'll have to go home, or rather stay home here in the lower bracket. YBB, however, Jonathan, they will proceed through to the next round. Happy days for them.
YVB play exceptionally well, showing us why, the bottom tier of Div 1 teams are still scary for some of these Div 2 teams. And MagMa, they looked hopeful again, number 3 under DPC, to Division 2 and Tour 3, looked hopeful for a promotion in quite.